Okay, hello, let's practice doing some constructions. So number one on your paper has you guys drawing a congruent segment. So what we want to do is make a segment congruent to this segment and copy it onto this line segment. So I highly recommend when you have your blank lines, add an endpoint onto the end so you can see a little location. All right, and then what you want to do for this first construction is you want to set up your compass so that the center goes through that point, and then we're going to open it up so that it goes directly through the other endpoint. Okay, so you have to work with that. If it goes through that point, then we pick up the center and we put it right there on the endpoint and we make a mark. Okay? Yeah. What that just achieved is that this distance is equal to that distance. So I know these two things have to be the same. All right, so we might indicate that by using these two little tick marks right here to show that those two segments are equal. All right? And then I would even darken this point. Notice you do not need to draw the whole circle. I have a lot of students drawing the whole circle and we don't need that. So I'll do number one again. All right, the second one, we just go here. I'm going to try to open the compass. See, you have to open a little bit. If it doesn't look through it like it's going through the point, then what you'll have to do is open the compass a little more, all right, until you get it going through the point. If you miss it, then you got to readjust until you get it going straight through the point that you want. Okay, when I have it going straight through that point, I'm going to pick it up, go to this side, and make a mark. Okay, so this first one is really basic. If you can't do that, you should definitely let me know because everything else will be impossible. All right, so number two was concentric circles. All right, concentric circles are just a bunch of circles that all have the same center. So I'd recommend that you put a point down to represent the center of the circle. And I asked you guys to draw 3 concentric circles. So we will draw one circle. All right, spin the paper around like how I show you. I'm going to open it up a little bigger and make a second circle with the same center. And then I'll make a third circle with the same center. All right, so if you can get these 3 circles, I would feel like you had it. All right, I'll try to pick that up a little bit so maybe you could see. All right, the focus is falling off. I'll push harder on the next one. All right, so the third construction that we'll do is going to be the perpendicular bisector. So for this one, what you're going to need is 3 line segments. So I'm going to put them right here. Okay, so on your paper, you'll have 3 of them. I'll do a couple of these really quickly. Okay, notice I'm darkening the endpoints just a little bit so I could see them. All right, then take your compass. All right, I've told my students to open the compass up so that it goes through the other endpoint. Okay, so if you do that, you get an arc that goes straight through it. Notice I'm not going to finish the whole circle. We don't really need the whole circle. I'm going to switch this to the other side. And then from this point, if I make an arc, we can see that it goes through the other endpoint. But the only place I care about are the places where the 2 circles cross. That's right here and right here. So we would connect those using a straight edge. All right, put your pen on the point that you want. Line up your ruler with that other point. And then if you connect them, you should get a line that crosses at a perfect right angle and that bisects our line. Okay, so this is called the perpendicular bisector. All right, this was number 3, I believe, on your handout. All right, the perpendicular bisector. All right. Another trick about this one is that you don't actually have to put it through the endpoint. As long as you go farther than halfway, all right, and again, you can see if you push too hard, your pencil's going to slip, so that just happened to me. All right, so I got this mark. If I switch to the other side, okay, both of those marks are the same. If I connect these 2, then I'll have my construction complete. So all you really need is 2 equal circles. Okay, number 4 is cutting an angle in half. So I'll show you how to do that a couple times. Okay, each one of these constructions gets a little longer, right? We started off with 1 circle, then we had 2. This time we're going to need 3. So for this case, what we're going to have is we're going to go to the vertex of our angle and put our compass there, and I'm going to make an arc that touches in 2 places. Okay, and then I'm going to use those 2 places. This one and here. I'll take the center of my compass and I will make a mark outside here somewhere. Then I'm just going to switch my center of my compass to this other point right there. and make an equal circle. All right, by making that arc right there, I now have a point where if I connect that with the vertex of the angle, this angle's been cut in half. All right, so that is the bisector of an angle. All right, so like I said, just connect that point with the vertex and you'll be complete. All right, let's do another example on this one that looks a little more like a right angle. Okay, so put the center of your compass there, make an arc. Then I'm just going to move to this point. I'll make an arc. I'll move to this point, make another arc. And then now I would connect this point. Did that really just happen? I didn't notice. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so now if we connect this point where our two arcs cross with the vertex of the angle, I have now cut that angle in half too. So that's number 4. Okay, number 5 is a little bit more complicated. This time we have to draw 4 circles. All right, but 2 of them are the same. So we'll start off by copying an angle. That's all this one is. All right, we're going to draw an angle, and then I'm going to put a line next to it. All right, our goal is to copy this angle onto that line. All right, the first step would be give yourself an endpoint. All right, so the first step is to, somebody have a better compass than this one? I'll keep slipping on. Nobody got a good one? Nobody? All right, it's all good. Don't worry about it. Nah, don't worry, that's good. All right, so over here. So I'm going to go to the vertex here, and I'm going to make an arc. All right? No, I can't even do it. This compass says. I need another one. Come on, somebody. Anybody got one that's working good? What's what?
That's my thing. You're not funny, bro.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Try the other number 2, lady. All right, come on, get that headphone out. All right. It makes me physically sick to talk about headphones. All right. Here we go. All of this is going on YouTube. That's great. Yeah, that's right. All right, you guys. Warning. All right, so I'm going to go here and make an arc. All right. Notice I'm using this inner one because you know what? I'll make a new angle just to not confuse you. All right, let's try again. All right, so I'm going to copy this angle right there. So, step 1, we're going to make an arc on the angle of any size. I'm going to copy that over here onto this point, to this line by itself. I'm going to make sure that I go way more than far enough, okay? Now what I'm going to do is jump back to this arc, and I'm going to measure the distance in between those 2 points, all right? So I need to adjust my compass until it goes straight through that point. All right, that looks pretty good to me. So once it goes straight through there, I pick up my compass and bring it over there to the arc. All right, so I'm going to go here and make a mark. All right, the place where that touches the first circle, that's the point that I want to connect with the vertex. All right, if I connect that with the vertex, then I have a congruent angle. So we'll connect that. Boom. All right, that is how you copy an angle. All right, you make four circles. All right, we copied that first one here. Then we measure the distance between those 2. We copy that over there, and that's about it. All right? The next one that we have to deal with is parallel lines. Okay, to do a parallel line construction, you will have a point not on the line, and you'll have a line. And the purpose here is to make a line that we want to draw that's parallel to this one right here, and we want it to pass straight through that point. All right, so that's what we want to draw. We want a line that's parallel to this one, and that goes straight through that point. All right, the first step is actually to connect your point to your line and make some kind of angle with that first line that goes through that point. Okay, so it doesn't matter how I do it, as long as I connect. I'll do it like this. Okay, so we have a line. The first thing I'll do is go to the point where those 2 things cross, and I'm going to make an arc. Okay, I'm going to copy this arc over to that point. I'm going to make sure I go way below, and I'm going to make sure that I cross the line. Okay, so start below, and make sure you cross the line right there. Okay, let's make sure that we can see that in the video. All right, that looks all right, I guess. The next thing we do is we're going to measure the distance between these 2 points, the first two that we created. This is the last step. All right, so what I tend to show people to do is take your compass and set it up so that it goes through this little point right here. All right, when we got it going straight through that point, okay, if it goes straight through there, then we're going to jump over here to the arc again. So notice I'm on the arc and the line. I'm going to go to the arc and the line again. All right, and I make a little mark right here. All right, that place where those two arcs cross. All right there. Okay, I made a video on this one. This is number 6, right? I made a video on that one, and that one's already up on YouTube where I do the same construction. So you could watch that one a little slower. But I'm doing them all in one video this time, so feel free to pause or fast forward, rewind, whatever you got to do. All right, that's number 6. Okay, number 7 was similar to number 6. All right, but what happens this time is we want to do a perpendicular line that goes through a point. So be careful if you read the words on number 7. The setup looks the same, but the problem is different. Okay, in this case, we want to make a line that's perpendicular to the blue line. So I want a line that makes a right angle like that, but that goes straight through that blue point. All right, that's what I want. Not a line over here, not there, but right there. So here's what we do. All right, we take the center of our compass, and we're going to go ahead and put our center of our compass on this point. Okay, now what I want to do is make an arc that touches the line in 2 places. All right, and you can see right here I just did that. I made a circle that touches in these 2 places. All right, I'll go darken them a little bit, but like I try to say to you guys, keep your points pointy, right? All right, don't make them too big. After I get those 2, I'm going to use these 2 to make the next thing. All right, we're going to cut this line segment in half, and that's basically just what we did on number 3, where you guys had to do the perpendicular bisector. All right. So here we go. All we do is go to one of these points and we make an arc, okay? Then I'm going to go to the other side and I'm going to make an arc of equal size, okay? And now you're going to see that I get these 2 intersections, all right? I get a point down here where the 2 arcs cross, and you might notice that your other 2 arcs will cross right on top of that first circle if you don't change your compass. If I connect them, then I did what I said I would, right? We have a right angle, and the line goes straight through that point. So that's perpendicular. Okay, number 8, we're at the last 2 right now. Number 8 was to make an equilateral triangle of 3 centimeters. This one's pretty easy. All you have to do is start off using your actual ruler. Okay, so I'm going to make a line segment that is 3 centimeters. So I'm going to go from 0 to 3. All right, I'll put some endpoints there. Okay, that line is 3 centimeters. That's what this line is. I'll even label it. Okay, but now to draw an equilateral triangle, all I have to do is set my compass to be equal to that size. So it has to go straight through this endpoint. All right, it does. And I'm going to make this arc up here. Okay? If I go switch this to the other side now, okay, and by now you will have seen this shape lots of times, right? We have created everything we need to make a triangle. All right, all I have to do is connect this point to the other 2 points. And that's complete. So we go like this, 1, and we get the 3rd side. All right, so all these sides are equal. All right? So that's number 8, equilateral triangle. You only have to do one of those. And for number 9, we get the hardest one of all. All right, the seed of life. All right, for this one, we're just going to make a bunch of circles that go through each other. All right, number 8, we call this shape the seed of life. Oh, sorry, number 9. Okay, for number 9, the seed of life goes like this. All right, we're going to start off by drawing one circle. So I'll have one circle. Now all I do is continue making more circles going along the edge. Okay, I'm going to bring my circle to the edge of the first circle, and I'm going to make a circle that goes through it. Okay, and then you'll notice that if I do that, I end up creating these 2 points over here. All right. This might be kind of hard to see. Okay, so I go to the next one, and I'm going to make a circle that goes through those same points. Okay, every time noticing I make a new point, and I just go make another circle. All right, so I'm just going to wrap this up so you guys can see that it's possible to do in a reasonable amount of time. All right, and there's one more left. All right, it didn't come out perfect by any means, but it's there, and that's the idea. All right, so if you guys can see that, I'll try to pick it up a little bit. All right, at any rate, good luck with y'all. All right, watch this video to get through each construction.